This is one-on-one session with the ForumIAS founder and director Ayush Sinha. In this session, students are asked questions to test their preparedness for the personality test. One-on-one sessions are not mock panel sessions.
Yes, please come in. Have a seat. What is your name?
My name is Akansha Anand.
Akansha, can you begin by briefly introducing yourself to me?
So my name is Akansha Anand. I'm a resident of Patna city of Bihar state. I have pursued my graduation in Bachelor of Veterinary Science and Animal Husbandry from Bihar Veterinary College, and currently I'm working as a veterinary officer under the government of Bihar.
Akansha, you are a veterinary doctor.
Yes, sir.
What is the reason that there has been a sudden outburst of certain kind of disease in Western India among cattle? Which disease am I talking about?
Sir, I believe it is the lumpy skin disease.
Yes. How is it caused?
Sir, it is caused by a virus of the Capripox family.
It's a viral disease. What is the reason? What is the reason for so many deaths? Is there no cure for it anywhere in the world?
Presently, there's no directed vaccine for this particular disease. That is why we have been experiencing high mortality rates, although the recorded mortality in this disease is about 10 to 15%. But due to poor managemental conditions and high rate of spread, the mortality recorded in our country is high. So,
do we have a percentage figure for it? You said that 10 to 15% is the mortality that is generally seen. You're saying that because of its spread is very widespread, therefore the numbers in absolute terms are big. But do you have any figure for what is the mortality rate in India?
So about 20%.
About 20%, a little higher. What is the reason?
So poor managemental practices and the health condition of the animals are not up to mark. The area where animals are kept, the sheds, they are not properly cleaned. Ticks infestations are commonly seen. So this renders the animal prone to these diseases because their metabolically immune system is weakened.
So you're saying that their immune system is already weak, or because of this virus it becomes weakened?
So because of lack of proper veterinary care and proper managemental practices, their immunity is compromised, and that is why they become more prone to this disease.
What all parts of India has the lumpy this disease spread?
So we have seen maximum cases in Rajasthan, Maharashtra, and after that this disease is spreading its feet in areas of UP and Bihar as well.
In Bihar also you're starting to see cases?
Yes, so we are starting a vaccination program from the month of February to contain this.
Okay, so this vaccine has been developed by whom?
Sir, we are using the goat pox vaccine. There is no particular vaccine for lumpy disease as of now.
Okay.
So we are using the goat pox vaccine for providing immunity against it.
Okay. What is the reason that veterinary sciences as a career option has not been very popular in our country?
Sir, in our societal conditions, there has been a narrow-minded tendency of pursuing very restricted career choices. So MBBS has always gotten preference over this veterinary field because there has been some lacking in popularizing this field and also highlighting and underscoring the importance it plays in the lives of the agrarian community, which form the largest section of a population. So, but through initiatives like the Rashtriya Gokul Mission, Annual Disease Control Program, and National Livestock Mission, the government is proactively working to elevate the situation of farmers and also promote veterinary care and services, thus making it a lucrative career option in the coming times.
You are from Bihar. Tell me, what is the reason behind backwardness of Bihar? Do you agree that Bihar has stayed backward to some extent compared to other states?
That Bihar is lacking on a certain parameters compared to the other states of India presently, but uh, this has a back long history because of which the situation we are facing today, certain legacy problems which plagued Bihar since the times of colonial occupation, like the permanent settlement system operational in these Bihar and Odisha regions, due to which feudalism was on the rise and the farmers they became impoverished. And thus this was the reason for the distress of a larger section which pushed them into penury. And then after the independence, this region saw a lot of political turmoil, which, due to the political instability, the development was hindered. And after the LPG reforms, there was low fund devolution from the center and not adequate private investment, because of which the manufacturing sector growth was also restricted. And the final blow was the separation of Jharkhand from Bihar, which deprived it of all the mineral resources rich regions, and its geographical position as a landlocked state bordered on one side by Nepal has somehow also been a reason for its status.
You are blaming everyone, but not the administration of Bihar, not the political class of Bihar.
Sir, I mentioned the political turmoil. Yes, the political class of Bihar and their ascriptive politics based on caste is somewhere responsible for this problem that we're facing today.
What are some good places of historical importance to visit in Patna?
Sir, Patna has the Golghar. Shall I elaborate about it or mention a few places?
A few places.
Sir, the Golghar, the remnants of the 80-pillared hall in Kumrar, the Sabhyata Dwar, sir, I can recall these many places in Patna specifically.
Who made the Golghar and what was the purpose of it?
Sir, the Golghar was made by John Garston. The purpose of constructing the structure was, it was intended to be a granary to store food for times of distress in the famines frequently experienced during those times.
How many stairs are there?
145.
145. Is that all?
Sir, that is what I can recall.
145 is not too much, but we heard that there are too many stairs in the Golghar. Have you ever gotten a chance to visit it?
Yes, sir. During my school days, I visited once.
What is the reason that Buddhism spread everywhere and yet the land where Buddha got enlightened, it was not able to take roots or is not prevalent there? What is the reason according to you?
So during the medieval period and after Buddhism became popular during the reign of the Palas, Senas, and later during the medieval period, we see Brahmanism emerging as a powerful sect in these areas. The resurgence of the Shakti cult, the Shiva cult, it eliminated Buddhism from these areas, and that is why we see less of a Buddhist population.
But you cannot remove something if it is that good. If it is something else just cannot come and replace it. It has its own. Think and tell me what is the reason that Buddhism did not thrive. Okay, what are the major places of religious importance in Bihar?
Sir, in Patna, we have the Gurudwara Sahib, the Patna Sahib, which marks the birthplace of 10th Guru of Sikhism, Guru Gobind Singh. We have Bodh Gaya, where the Bodhi tree is present, under which Gautam Buddha gained enlightenment. And then in Pavapuri, we have the Jal Mandir, where Mahavira took his last breath.
If you were made an advisor to the Chief Minister of Bihar, what sectors would you advise him to focus on to restore Bihar's economy?
So I think my prime advice would be to invest in education, because presently we see widespread migration of youth from Bihar to study in premier educational institutions outside the state or even abroad. There are a few good educational institutions with the establishment of NITs, IITs, AIMS who are able to retain a few of our youth, but more focus needs to be diverted in that area so that the advantageous sections can meet their aspirations, as well as the poorer sections, they can be skilled to acquire more jobs and contribute to the GDP of the state.
You talked about migration in the state. What are the various types of migrants, the people who leave the state? What are the various types of migrants who move out from Bihar?
So one category is students. The
Why
next,
do they migrate?
so for better educational prospects.
School level, higher education, for what do they generally migrate?
So generally for higher education,
Higher
for college.
education. That's one category. Very good.
So next is agricultural laborers, construction workers, and to some extent, married women also migrate.
We will put them in the same category, agricultural laborers who migrate during sowing and harvesting time to states such as Punjab, where agriculture is. All right. Then the third category is married women. Okay. Any fourth category?
So professionals, migration to the IT sector in Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Delhi.
What is stopping Bihar from setting up a big, huge office of these IT giants, given that so many people from Bihar are working in these IT giants? They would love to come back home and work. What is stopping what do you think is the problem or the challenge that these companies cannot set up a huge, development center, software development center in the heart of the nation that is Bihar?
Sir, Bihar is lacking a little on the infrastructure front when compared to metropolitan cities in terms of logistics. And
Is it lacking a little or is it lacking a lot?
so it is lacking. I cannot compare the extent, but I can admit that yes, there are shortcomings in the state presently. So we need to work a lot on that part, provide incentives to companies to come here, and also cultural change to accept people from other countries or other states. A cultural homogeneity, a cultural heterogeneity needs to be promoted so that people can be attracted to work in the state.
There is a very famous festival that is celebrated in Bihar, which is the most holy festival of the people from the state. Which festival am I talking about?
Sir, the Chhath festival.
What is unique about it?
Sir, this is the only festival in our culture or even worldwide which worships the setting sun as well as the rising sun. And there's no particular deity which is worshipped. We worship the nature and its glory and all the entities associated with it.
What is the current position of India with respect to the war in Russia and Ukraine? Do you think it is a legitimate side India has chosen?
Sir, in the scenario of the Ukraine-Russia war, India is trying to maintain its autonomy and further its national interest on the international forum. It is not aligning with any of the parties engaged in the war, but it suggests a meaningful dialogue and diplomacy for solving the conflict between the two. So, although we are importing oil from Russia and also helping Ukraine with grains and other imports, that does not mean that we are aligning to any particular side in the war. We have a moral responsibility to our population, and that is what our foreign policy is all about.
All right. You like to read fantasy fiction and classics.
Yes,
The
sir.
two extremes. What fantasy fiction have you read?
Sir, I have read books like the Harry Potter series, the Percy Jackson series, A Song of Fire and Ice.
You've read The Song of Fire and Ice?
Sir, I've read 2 books of the series. I'm yet to complete the entire set.
How thick is the book?
Sir, about 600 to 800 pages each book.
And the font is also very small.
So it's legible. Yeah, it's small, but it's...
How much time did you take to finish this thick book?
Sir, if I have nothing to do and only reading on my timetable, then I think for a 600-page book, I need 2.5 to 3 days.
Okay, which means you are a voracious reader.
Yes.
Okay, and the classics?
Classics I have read ranging from authors like Jane Austen, Emily Bronte, Dickens.
Who's your favorite character in Heathcliff? Who's your favorite character in Wuthering Heights?
Sir, I cannot choose one character who is favorite because it is a tragic book. But if I have to choose a character from whose life a lot of lessons can be drawn, it will certainly be the protagonist Heathcliff, because that is a way he sets an example of toxic masculinity that one should really refrain from.
Also, have you read some dramas by Shakespeare?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me from which work of Shakespeare is this lines taken from? And all the sweet perfumes of Arabia could not sweeten.
Sir, I'm not sure about it.
Okay, if I allow you to take a chance.
The Tempest.
No, it is with respect to a person who killed someone and had blood on his
Sir, I
hands.
remember now. Macbeth.
Alright. All that glisters is not gold.
Oh, sir.
I'll give you a hint. There are 3 caskets or 3 boxes: gold, silver, and bronze.
The Merchant of Venice.
That is correct. In what context is this line set? All that glisters is not gold.
So I think there was this trial that was going on in the court with respect to the deal that I don't remember the name of the characters, but I think I can roughly figure the scenario, but I cannot elaborate upon it. I don't remember it.
You also like traveling?
Yes, sir.
Where have you traveled recently?
Sir, my most recent travel was to Ooty, but it was not a trip. It was regarding a professional training.
Alright. Anywhere else?
Sir, I went to Bodh Gaya, that also for a departmental training.
So in Bodh Gaya, you will be sometimes surprised to see some practices which Lord Buddha was against. What practice am I talking about?
Sorry, sir, I'm not able
With respect to worship.
Idol worship. The veneration of an entity as a god. A person as a god.
You've also been the most promising debater in Chanakya Nidhi National Youth Parliament. What is the difference between Niti and Nyaya?
Niti is a set of instructions which are to be followed. They are not as rigid as rules. And Nyaya means justice.
What is the reason, Akansha, that you want to join the civil services?
So the civil services provides me a very diverse platform to work upon. I can engage with multiple sectors of the administration and make an impact on the lives of thousands of people through my capabilities, and that will provide me enough job satisfaction to stay in the services.
All right, Akansha, your interview is over.
Thank you, sir.